Hey everybody, how's it going? It's a gorgeous, gorgeous day in our nation's capital. The kind of weather that you hope for all year long and only get for a few days usually. It is gorgeous. We're out on a walk. The birds are chirping. The cicadas are thinking about coming out. It's gonna be a fun day. Let's talk some hockey. Of course. Let's talk some hockey on this walk. So, recording on the phone here, but good times. I like the resolution of how to be able to look at the games and the way to scroll. It's actually almost better than the computer. So let's talk about yesterday, the 5th of April, which was Monday. 6-1. 6-1. You know, a lot of good stuff. Edmonton is an underdog we didn't hit, but it was close. And I think they were actually leading that game up until the end. And I think they lost in overtime. So overall, amazing stuff. Some of these projected scores I think might have changed slightly as I updated for today, but everything else should be clean. So it is pretty much a 6-1 day from what I saw. That's good stuff. So good times there. Let's talk about today being Tuesday, and the snapshot is right here. And let's go through the games because we're getting to the part of the season people are fighting hard, right? So we have Buffalo and New Jersey. So in my preliminary glance at this stuff earlier today, I noticed how close this game is between Buffalo and New Jersey, and how Buffalo now all of a sudden has won 2 games in the last couple weeks, right? So they're jumping back up and looking like more of a respectable hockey team. So it makes this game a whole lot closer and makes that plus 146 a really good line for Buffalo. And even though it says that they lose this game, it says probably like a 2-2 overtime-ish type game where Buffalo might win. So it's not a great pick, but it is a really good line on Buffalo, and it looks like you want to stay away from New Jersey because they're not that strong. Islanders and Caps. Washington favored here by the algorithm, even though Vegas, the odds makers, think that they're an underdog. A lot of reasons for that. What are they? the Islanders are home team. That's about it. It says it's a 4-3, 3-2 type game for Washington over the Islanders. I like the plus 110 for Washington, but it's not a pick that's going to win every night. It's going to win just more than 50% of the time. So keep that in mind. It's not like a parlay type pick because it's not going to win every night, but it's the better line there. Pittsburgh and the Rangers. It favors Pittsburgh, but just barely by power strength. Even though Pittsburgh's playing great hockey and the Rangers are playing under 500 hockey, it seems, or 500 or almost below. Don't understand why the Rangers are favored here. Don't really get it. They must be in a must-win situation or something, but whatever injuries that are affecting Pittsburgh, I should be accounting for them in the algorithm. So I like Pittsburgh, but once again, it's still a whole lot closer than we think. Perhaps because I don't understand why. I would think that Pittsburgh should be favored more there. I don't get it. Boston and Philadelphia. Here's where Philadelphia wins one last night, right? And upsets them. Here they're an underdog, and yet again, the algorithm favors them. Yeah, I think they won yesterday, and the algorithm had them as an underdog. Same thing going on today, except they're listed as the home team, and they're at plus 120. I mean, there's a lot of toss-up games here where you're going to probably win more than 50% of them. Like, you're going to maybe win with Pittsburgh, maybe win with Washington, maybe win with Buffalo, maybe win with Philadelphia. It just kind of like they're good lines, but you're not going to win all of them, but you're going to win some of them. So I guess that's kind of a day that's made for straight bets. Florida and Carolina, we favor Florida in what should be a very good game. It's Mrazek and not Reimer going. That's interesting because Mrazek's goaltending rating is low. So that is a very important bit of information about who is playing goalie for Carolina, because if it is Mrazek, that's a great line for Florida. That's almost pick of the day where they look at the comparison. It says it's a 4.2 to 2.2 game. That's a 2-goal differential because of Mrazek's goalie rating. And Bobrovsky's already confirmed. So that Florida is screaming pick of the day on the money line there. Let's keep going. Tampa Bay and Columbus. Tampa Bay, heavily favored, yet they don't seem to like to beat down teams and smack them around like ragdolls like they used to. They're having these games like with Detroit where they're winning 2-1 when the algorithm is predicting that they'd win like 6-0. And so I don't quite understand what's happening with them. You can see that they dropped down and only won 38% of their games in the last 15 days. So they've been on the downward swing. So when you see them at a minus 220, I just want to stay away from it right now, even though it's predicting a 5-0 game. And Columbus is bad, though. So it's kind of like, well, Tampa Bay probably wins, but you can't really count on the goals to do what they're supposed to do. Nashville and Detroit, couple unconfirmed goalies. I would expect a low-scoring game. It's saying Nashville pounds them because Grice is probably playing. Yikes. So that minus 156 is actually a really good line for Nashville. If Grice is playing, that's a great line for Nashville. If Grice is playing. Dallas and Chicago. It barely likes Chicago. Not barely, a little more than barely. By over a goal and a half. I agree with all of that. But Chicago has been iffy against Dallas this year, I feel like. Man, that's off the top of my head. Then you got Anaheim and San Jose down there at the bottom. It does like San Jose against Gibson. Anaheim's really one of the worst teams in the league. They're actually playing just slightly better than Buffalo. Slightly, and that might even change. So San Jose probably going to win that game. It says you can take a minus 1.5 also with that like 3-goal differential that it's predicting. So a lot to talk about NHL-wise. That's today. It actually looks like a lot of good and a lot of fun, good lines today. So I'm liking that when I see hockey. And good luck, everyone. May all your picks be doing just the best that they could do.